Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a story that's, well, it's as dramatic and high stakes as any epic space opera you can imagine.
It really is.
Think about this. A video game, hailed by critics as a masterpiece. A huge leap from the first one. But for reasons that aren't immediately clear, it just struggles to find its audience.
Right.
And what if its whole journey, from concept to cancellation, and then this totally unexpected comeback?
Right.
What if that's just as dramatic as the plot inside the game?
That scenario alone just grabs you, doesn't it? That inherent tension is exactly why this deep dive is so interesting.
Absolutely.
We're not just, reviewing a game here. We're really unraveling the whole saga of Zone of the Enders, the second runner.
Yeah.
Our mission today is to explore its unique mix. You've got this high-stakes story, genuinely innovative gameplay, and then all these surprising twists and turns in its life cycle.
It's more than just a game analysis.
Exactly. It's looking at ambition, betrayal, that whole fight for a place in gaming history. We want to give you that shortcut to being really informed about this cult classic.
You really hit the nail on the head there. Our source material for this, it's this incredibly detailed look at the game, just packed with fascinating insights. So yeah, get ready. We're talking giant mecha, intricate space opera politics, and the vision of some truly legendary creators.
That's quite a mix.
We're going to dissect the plot. It's heart-pounding stuff. We'll look at how the gameplay evolved, directly based on criticism.
Which is always interesting to see.
Definitely. We'll appreciate the genius behind its development, the art style.
Yeah.
Unpack that weird mismatch between critical reception and sales.
It's a big paradox.
Right. And trace its legacy, which is, honestly, almost tragic in parts.
It's a journey with a lot of unexpected turns. We're just kicking things off.
And there's so much detail. So let's start, let's set the scene. Year 2174.
Yes.
That's 2 years after the first Zone of the Enders.
And we meet our main guy, Dingo Egret. What's interesting right off the bat is his past. He's a former soldier for Bagram.
The main antagonists, right?
The very same, an orbital military force.
Yeah.
But now, he's just a miner on Callisto, one of Jupiter's moons, trying to live a quiet life, apparently.
Which immediately makes you ask questions.
Exactly. What's his history there? Why'd he leave Bagram? What did he do? What did he see that made him want this, secluded life?
You're instantly curious about his backstory, what he's carrying, and of course that quiet life doesn't last long.
Not at all. While he's just doing his mining job, he accidentally stumbles upon this incredibly powerful orbital frame Jehuty, hidden away.
Not just any mech, the Jehuty from the first game.
Precisely. Renowned for its power. And
Right.
finding it, almost by sheer luck, kicks off this chain reaction he just can't escape from.
So the stakes just skyrocket immediately.
Instantly. 1 minute he's mining rocks, the next Batram forces are attacking him, trying to get their weapon back.
And it's not just some random attack force, is it?
No, among them is this mysterious figure, Ken Marineris, a skilled female pilot in her own orbital frame.
Okay.
And Dingo, he's a veteran pilot, but he doesn't want to fight. He's literally forced into Jehuty's cockpit.
Not because he wants to, but just to survive.
Pure self-preservation. Right then, the tension is palpable. He's dragged back into the exact conflict he tried so hard to leave behind, all because he found something he didn't want.
It's that classic reluctant hero thing, but the threat feels so immediate, so visceral.
Absolutely. And this is where the personal betrayal angle really ramps up the emotional stakes.
Ah, no, man.
Yes. Dingo confronts his old commander, Colonel Ridley Noman Hardiman. He was supposedly gone after the first game, but nope, he's back.
That's gotta be tense.
Oh, incredibly. No man, cool as you like, asks Dingo to rejoin Badram. But this isn't just a job offer. There's history there. Dark history.
Some Dingo refuses.
Flat out. He calls No Man out, says he sacrificed their comrades in the past. He literally asks him, "Do you know how many died because of you?"
Wow. Heavy stuff.
And No Man's response, "It's just chilling. Pure villainy," he says, completely cold. I wouldn't know.
Oof. That's brutal.
It's a complete dismissal of everything. Then he just shoots Dingo, point blank. Leaves him for dead for refusing.
Just like that.
Just like that. It establishes Noman as this utterly ruthless antagonist you instantly hate. The personal stakes for Dingo couldn't be higher. It's raw betrayal.
But Dingo survives. Somehow.
He does, and this is another twist that builds tension. Ken Mariner is the one who attacked him earlier. She suddenly saves his life by connecting his dying body directly to Jehuty. The orbital frame becomes his life support system.
Whoa, so he's literally part of the machine.
Literally chained to it. This former soldier wanting peace is now bound to the weapon he found just to stay alive. It's a really clever, almost horrific narrative hook.
That raises the stakes in a completely unique way.
And the implication is immediate and terrifying. You'll die if you leave Jehuty. It's not abstract, it's constant. His life depends on being in that cockpit.
So every single fight
Is a fight for his actual existence. Not just objectives, but survival, moment to moment. This bond is core to the game's tension. You feel Dingo's vulnerability.
really forces you to empathize. And things get even more complicated with Ken, right? The alliances start shifting.
Oh, absolutely. It adds layers of intrigue, distrust. Ken, who attacked him, then saved him. She reveals she's actually a UNSF spy, United Nations Space Force.
Undercover and bored.
Right. She says she needs Dingo's help to stop No Man. But you're immediately asking, why is she really helping him? What are her motives? Can you trust her?
It keeps you guessing constantly.
It deepens the conspiracy. Then Dingo meets up with Leo Stenbuck,
The kid from the first game.
the very same. And Leo drops another bombshell. Jehuty's AI, ADA. She's programmed to self-destruct if she reaches Bahrain's main base, Oman.
Self-destruct, like a massive explosion.
Catastrophic level. So now it's not just Dingo's life or revenge, it's preventing something that could wreck the whole solar system. The personal stakes become planetary.
Okay, so the pressure is immense, and Noman has this super mech, Anubis.
Yeah, Anubis. It's like Jehuty's evil twin. Faster, stronger. Seemingly unbeatable. So, Dingo and Ken need upgrades. Badly.
Where do they go?
They seek out this Barum scientist named Lloyd. He supposedly holds the key to boosting Jehuty. This introduces a new challenge, a potential ally, but can they trust him? He's Barum, after all.
Another layer of uncertainty.
And Lloyd's help comes at a terrible cost. While helping Dingo get away from Noman, Lloyd gets killed.
Oh, man.
It just fuels Dingo's resolve even more, shows Noman's ruthlessness again. And then another twist about Ken.
What now?
Turns out, yeah, she's a Barum member, not really UNSF. But her motive isn't loyalty to Barum. She wants revenge on Noman because he killed her father.
Wow, so everyone has these complex, hidden agendas.
Exactly. It's not just good versus evil. Characters like Ken are driven by grief, revenge, their own personal wars. It makes the whole story much richer, much more compelling.
Talk about twists and turns. Okay, so this whole tangled web leads to the climax on Phobos, Mars's moon.
Mars' largest moon, yeah. The fight for survival peaks there. Dingo, Ken, and Leo travel to what they think is Oman, the Barum base. They're ready for the final showdown with Anubis.
The confrontation you've been building towards.
But big twist, the Anubis they fight is a decoy, a fake. And guess who's piloting it?
Ken.
Ken. Noman used her in his deception. While they're distracted, Noman cripples Jehuty, escapes, and destroys the facility they're in.
No. So it was all a setup.
A brilliant, cruel setup. And then Ken reveals the truth. The real Oman base is actually hidden on Phobos itself.
So the chase isn't over.
Far from it. New urgency, new, more epic location. The stakes are higher than ever.
Okay, so round 2, Dingo versus Noman and the real Anubis.
The final showdown. And after this incredibly intense battle, Dingo finally manages to destroy Anubis. It feels like this huge victory, the culmination of everything.
But it's Noman, it's never that simple, is it?
Never. Even defeated, Noman activates Oman's self-destruct sequence, threatens devastation on a massive scale.
He just won't quit.
Pure malice. So Dingo has to act fast. In this really visceral, symbolic move, he rips off Anubis's head.
The head of his enemy's machine.
And throws it into Amon's core to stop the detonation, using the symbol of his enemy to save everyone. It's powerful imagery.
Yeah. And after that,
The threat is over. Dingo gets medical help. His body is finally restored, detached from Jehuty. That core tension of him needing the machine to live is resolved.
so he's free from that physical bond.
Physically, yes. But you know, the emotional scars, the betrayal, the loss, they're still there. It leaves a mark.
This plot is just wow. It masterfully uses betrayal, spying, that constant threat to Dingo's life to keep raising the stakes. It's so much more than just shoot the robots.
Absolutely. It makes you feel everything, every deception, every near miss, every victory. It's a really compelling emotional story that sticks with you.
They understood that link between high stakes and emotional investment.
Yeah, totally. Making Jehuty his actual life support, that translates directly into gameplay tension. Every move matters. Every hit could be fatal. It's brilliant game design marrying narrative and mechanics.
Okay, let's talk gameplay then, because the second runner really evolved here, didn't it? It addressed the criticisms of the first game head on.
It really did. The whole design philosophy shifted. The first game had those sometimes frustrating escort missions, protecting civilians, navigating maps.
Yeah, I remember those could be a bit tedious.
The second runner, pure action, high-octane, intense combat. That was the focus. It immediately tackled a big complaint and set a much more aggressive, empowering tone.
And this wasn't an accident. This was intentional.
Absolutely deliberate.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima, the producer, brought in Shuyu Murata as director specifically to create a different feel, to directly address those criticisms.
This shows some real adaptability, listening to feedback.
Definitely. It shows leadership willing to change course for the better. Murata's job was basically make this a pure, thrilling action game.
And the critics definitely picked up on that shift. GameSpot famously said it was what the original Zone of the Enders should have been.
That's huge praise for a sequel. It tells you just how significant the improvements felt. It built a lot of curiosity, like, okay, how much better is this really?
So how did Jehuty feel different? What were the big gameplay changes?
Well, Jehuty felt unleashed. A major upgrade was attacking multiple enemies at once. The first game was often more one-on-one.
So it felt faster, more powerful.
Much more. You felt like this agile, deadly machine taking on squads like in an anime fight scene. Plus, you could grab stuff from the environment.
Like buildings, other mechs.
Yep. Grab buildings, girders, even enemy mechs, and use them as weapons or shields. Added this fantastic tactical layer and visual flair. Super satisfying.
That sounds awesome. And progression, how did it work?
It felt really organic. You'd get new sub-weapons by beating bosses, classic reward loop. You repaired Jehuty by finding Metatron, the energy source. And crucially, leveling up happened just by destroying enemies. Combat success directly fueled your growth. Plus, Jehuty's abilities changed as the story progressed.
So you constantly felt like you were getting stronger, unlocking new toys.
Exactly. A great sense of evolving power that kept you hooked, wondering what cool new move you'd get next.
What about the level design? The first game had that sort of open map thing.
They changed that too. The second runner went for linearity, consecutive stages, no backtracking like in the first game's world map.
Why'd it change?
Deliberate choice. Keep the focus on action, keep the pace high, make it feel more cinematic. Avoid getting lost or repeating areas, just forward momentum.
And they addressed the enemy variety issue too.
Directly. That was a big criticism of the first game, monotonous gameplay. So they significantly increased the types of enemies you fight. Kept encounters fresh, required different tactics.
Right.
And a cool little detail. Those smaller support mechs, the LEVs, they were meant to help you in gameplay in the first game, but only showed up in cutscenes.
Ah, right.
In the second runner, they actually implemented it. You have NPC allies fighting alongside you in some missions. Shows they went back to fulfill those original design ideas.
Nice touch. What about after the main story? Any replay value?
Plenty. Unlockable extra missions for new challenges. A solid versus mode single player against AI or multiplayer battles.
Cool.
And you could replay the whole game using different versions of Jehuty you'd encountered. Lots of incentive to dive back in.
But the really cool extra, the Easter egg.
Ah, yes. The Zeradius Easter egg. This is fantastic. It's an unlockable, fully 3D remake of Konami's classic arcade shooter, Gradius.
No way. With the Vic Viper ship.
The Vic Viper, the Moai Head's shooting rings, the train boss, all rendered in 3D within the ZOE engine. It's this amazing, delightful nod to Konami's own history.
That's incredible. What a surprise find for players. It definitely sparks curiosity.
It really does. And it connects back to our conversation. These gameplay changes made it so much more engaging, less frustrating. They listened to feedback, and the combat shines.
And Zeradius isn't just random.
I don't think so. It connects thematically. It shows Konami's design lineage, especially since Yoji Shinkawa, the ZOE mech designer.
Yeah.
He also designed Leo's new mech in the second runner, the Vic Viper, which transforms. It's based on the Gradius ship.
Whoa, full circle.
Exactly. It beautifully ties the company's history right into the game's mechanics and design. A real tribute.
Let's shift to the development side. How did this sequel even happen? I thought the first director said no plans.
That's what makes it interesting. Yeah, Noriaki Okamura, director of the first game, had said no sequel planned. But then boom, May 2002, Konami announces the second runner.
So what changed? Who pushed it?
It seems there was a shift behind the scenes. The team for the second runner was almost entirely new. Different director, writer, designer. They wanted, and I quote, A whole new ZOE.
A fresh start.
Exactly. And Kojima, as producer, was key. He picked Shuyo Murata as director. Apparently, Kojima really liked Murata's initial pitch for the sequel.
What was the pitch?
Something about Jehuty surviving a Metatron addiction. They didn't end up using that specific plot, but Kojima saw the potential in Murata's vision.
So Kojima trusted him with the franchise.
He did, and Kojima later gave Murata huge credit for the game's success. It really speaks to that trust in new talent and creative collaboration.
They definitely had high ambitions, especially visually, right? Making it stand out on the PS2.
Oh, yeah. The PS2 market was crowded. They knew they needed knockout graphics. The team focused heavily on pushing the console.
And they used that special anime feel technique.
The quasi-toon shade, yeah. Folks from the Metal Gear team helped with effects. It wasn't just cell shading. It was specific lighting and post-processing to give explosions and effects sharp anime-style outlines.
Must have been tough on the hardware.
Very demanding, but crucial for that look. And to handle all the enemies on screen, the fast action, they spent a whole year just developing a new 3D camera system.
A whole year on the camera.
Shows you the technical investment. They needed something that could track multiple fast targets in big spaces without losing the player. Key for that feeling of speed and power.
And the designs themselves. A real all-star team, wasn't it?
A gathering of legends. Yoji Shinkawa, the Metal Gear mech design genius, did most of the orbital frames, just like the first game. His style is so iconic.
Instantly recognizable.
Absolutely. And apparently, Murata gave Shinkawa a rough sketch for Ken's mech, R-Jet, kind of coffin-shaped, and Shinkawa developed it into that unique design.
And the Vic Viper mech for Leo. Shinkawa's idea, too.
Shinkawa suggested making it transformable based on the Gradius ship. Murata approved. Another great Konami connection.
Who else was involved? I heard other big names.
Kazuma Kaneko, famous for his work on the Megami Tensei series. He designed Lloyd, the scientist, and his frame in Hurt.
Wow. Another huge talent.
Right. And Nobuyoshi Nishimura did character illustrations and advised on special effects, helping nail that anime look. Just a powerhouse team.
They really polished it, too, even after release, right?
Right.
The special edition.
Yeah, there was hype building before launch. They had that demo in Dengeki PlayStation Magazine in Japan, but then the PAL and later Japanese versions got this special edition with significant upgrades, new VR training, extra scenarios, more difficulties, that music video for Beyond the Bounce.
Technical improvements, too.
Better anti-aliasing, graphical optimizations, even new mechs for versus mode. A real commitment to refining it post-launch. Gave players more value.
Looking at all this, the talent, the focus on fixing past issues, it really shapes the game's identity. It makes you think, what happens when a new director takes over a sequel like this?
It suggests that sometimes that fresh perspective is exactly what's needed. Murata, taking over, backed by Kojima, allowed them to break from the past, tackle criticisms head-on.
Create that whole new ZOE for real.
Exactly. It wasn't just marketing speed, it was a real philosophical shift that let the sequel arguably surpass the original in many ways, especially gameplay.
Okay, but now we hit the paradox. Critically acclaimed, but the sales.
Yeah, this is the tough part. Widespread critical praise, but mediocre sales. That's the core tension of its legacy. It got an 82 on Metacritic that's really good.
And critics loved the improvements.
Almost unanimously. GameSpot, Eurogamer, IGN, they all praised the faster combat, Jehuty's new abilities, the enemy variety. GameSpot saying it's what the original should have been. You can't ask for much higher praise.
Someone even compared it to Metroid Prime.
An Electronic Gaming Monthly reviewer, yeah, called it the best game I've played since Metroid Prime, praising the movement and challenge. That's putting it in a legendary company. It even won an award in Japan.
So, critically, it was a smash hit, but there were criticisms too.
Even masterpieces get nitpicked. A common one was the length. It was pretty short. Many players, like Eurogamer, loved it but just wanted more.
Which is a weird criticism, right?
It's
too good. I wish there was more of it.
It's that bittersweet feeling. And there was some debate on gameplay simplicity. GameSpy felt it was maybe underdeveloped, boss battles too scripted.
Like set pieces instead of dynamic fights.
Something like that. Game Revolution called it a straightforward shooter without much customization. So while some loved the pure action, others wanted deeper RPG stuff.
Different strokes for different folks. What about presentation issues?
The English voice acting got quite a bit of flack. GameSpy called it atrocious. TGM singled out Dingo's voice specifically.
Ouch. That's rough for the main character.
Yeah. And some found the script a bit repetitive in places, which could pull you out of the story.
And even replay value was debated.
Interestingly, yes. Eurogamer was disappointed by the length and hoped for a sequel, but GameSpot argued the combat and extra modes made it worth replaying anyway. Shows how different priorities lead to different conclusions.
So all this critical praise.
Yeah.
But the sales just weren't there.
That's the conundrum. Only 130th best-selling game in Japan in 2003. Just under 100,000 copies there. Critically lauded, commercially, meh.
How does that happen?
Maybe the million-dollar question. Even Kojima reflected on it. He blamed himself partly, mentioned issues with release timing, the competition, called it a medium success.
But he felt it could have been huge.
Yeah, he said it had potential to be a major Kojima production series alongside Metal Gear. That adds a layer of sadness to it, you know? What could have been.
But he didn't give up hope entirely.
No, he mentioned having a game plan and method for sales ready if they ever did a sequel. Shows he still believed in it. This whole section really makes you think about that disconnect.
Quality versus sales. Why doesn't one always equal the other?
What factors are at play? How does this impact a franchise's future? It really raises the stakes for its survival.
Beyond timing, what else could have held it back on the PS2? It was a super competitive time.
Definitely. The PS2 was packed with huge releases in 2003. And while Kojima's name helped, Zone of the Enders was still niche. Mecha games weren't always mainstream blockbusters.
And the first game's reputation might have lingered.
Possibly. The first one was innovative, but had flaws. Maybe the marketing for the second runner didn't fully convey just how much better it was, didn't break out beyond the core fans. It's often the fate of these cult classics, beloved by those who play them, but missed by the wider market.
It really shows how marketing, timing, genre appeal can sometimes matter as much as the game itself. A tough spot for the franchise.
For many series, that would have been the end. Disappointing sales usually means curtains down, but ZOE's story gets even more dramatic after release. Cancellations, fan passion, and a comeback.
The HD collection was the first sign of life, right? 2012.
Yep, late 2012. Ported to PS3 and Xbox 360. Huge deal. Made it accessible again, showed Konami hadn't totally forgotten it.
And didn't it come with a bonus that got people talking?
It did. A demo for Metal Gear Rising. Revengeance. Smart move. Tied the two franchises together, maybe got some Metal Gear fans curious about ZOE. Cross-promotion.
And around this time, hopes for a Zone of the Enders 3 were really high.
Oh, absolutely. Kojima had been talking concept since 2008. Official development supposedly started in May 2012. Fans were ecstatic. It felt like the series was finally getting its big chance. The stakes felt incredibly high for its future.
Then, the floor dropped out.
Crushing blow. May 2013. Kojima Productions announces ZOE 3 is canceled. Just like that. Less than a year after it officially started, fans were devastated.
And the reason they gave was kind of odd.
It was poignant, yeah. They cited issues acknowledged within the Zone of the Enders HD collection as the cause, implying problems with the port quality maybe killed confidence in a sequel.
Wow. So the HD port might have inadvertently sunk the sequel.
That was the implication. It raises big questions about fan trust, managing expectations, quality control. How can a port potentially kill a whole new game? A really tough lesson. It created this tension was the franchise cursed.
It felt like the end, for real this time, but the story wasn't over.
Like Dingo himself, it had another fight left. Years later, Tokyo Game Show 2017, totally unexpected announcement, Zone of the Enders, the second runner MARS.
MARS.
Yeah, stylized that way, a full remaster. People were stunned. It created this huge buzz, this feeling of, it's back, against all odds.
And this wasn't just a quick upscale.
No, it was a proper overhaul. Released September 2018 for PS4 and PC. Enhanced graphics, 4K support, VR headset support. Imagine being in Jehuty's cockpit.
Whoa, VR.
Yeah, and updated surround sound. A real modern revitalization, letting Murata's original vision shine on current tech.
Did it sell better this time? Did it find that audience?
It did significantly better combined with the original. The PS2 and PS4 versions together sold over 158,000 copies in Japan alone. It showed there was an audience, that the remaster found traction and breathed new life into it.
So what does that success tell us about the game's appeal, despite everything?
That's the meaningful question, right? Does this remaster success mean the franchise finally awakened? That was Kojima's theme for it. Or was it a final, glorious last stand?
The last hurrah.
Maybe. But its success strongly suggests that a real quality, even if missed initially, can find its audience later. Especially with the right presentation, it makes you wonder about legacy. Can it be rewritten years later?
So, wrapping this deep dive up, Zone of the Enders.
Yeah.
The second runner. It's clearly a testament to ambition, great storytelling, and a development journey full of highs and lows.
Absolutely. We saw how it built curiosity with its world, tension with its plot and Dingo's plight, and constantly raised the stakes for everyone involved, characters and creators.
From the amazing graphics and gameplay to the complex story of betrayal and survival, it carved out a real space in gaming history.
Even if the sales didn't match the critical acclaim initially, its vision, its craft, undeniably impactful, still resonates.
Yeah. Ultimately, its story isn't just about the game itself. It's about chasing an artistic vision, facing market realities, and how beloved things can find new life unexpectedly. It leaves you thinking, in an industry focused on blockbusters, what really defines a game's legacy? And maybe more importantly, which other overlooked gems, those medium successes, are just waiting out there for their own remaster, their own chance to finally get the spotlight they always deserved.
That's a great thought. It reminds us that sometimes a game's true worth isn't seen right away. It takes time, maybe a new generation, for its quality to be fully appreciated without all the noise of its original release, a testament to timeless design.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Zone of the Enders, the second runner. We hope you feel truly well informed and have a lot to think about. Until next time.